Today in the smuggler's room, I need a little help with the cleaning situation. I'm sorry, man. You're just not the droid I'm looking for this time. What I'm looking for is a Roomba. That's coming up. What's up, you awesome geeks? I'm Brian, and welcome to the Smuggler's Room. This week, this chubby geek, we're back. That's what, we are back. Super sorry for the absence and the lack of project videos lately, but we're back in the swing of things, back in the shop building things. So we want to thank you for sticking with us, and hang in there. We're going to get back to multiple videos a week, all new geekications and projects coming back very soon. For today, however, we're jumping in on a project that we wanted to do for so long. So let's get into it.
Oh boy, this is so exciting. I've wanted a Roomba for so long. Thank goodness for holiday sale. I think I'll name him Genghis. Wonder if Brian would want this for the basement. I'll keep it just in case. Olive is super excited now, but let's just wait till we turn this thing on and then see what she thinks. Seriously, what are the odds of this droid dome being the exact right size? Come on.
I found the 3D print files on Thingiverse from creator BF2Hero, and we'll put a link below so that you can find the same model.
Man, this thing really reminds me of batteries not included. But for whatever reason, when we started thinking through this project, I wanted to give it a non-Star Wars name. What? That's right. I wanted to dig into the X-Files. Yep, I am that kind of dork. Nerd? Or geek? Whatever. An X-Files episode that popped into my head where there's a scientist that Mulder visits who designs insect-inspired robots. One follows Mulder around, and Ivanov, the scientist, tells Mulder that the robot likes him. I wondered, what is that robot's name? That's what I want. So, come to find out, the robot that inspired those in the show were created by MIT's roboticist Rodney Brooks in his insect lab. His robot, Genghis, was designed eventually to be used for planetary exploration. Genghis was the first robot created by the iRobot Corporation, which is now of Roomba frame. So my initial geek instinct to go to X-Files with this droid turned out not to be a random, but happy coincidence having real-world reference.
So the ugly elephant in the room is that we have some print lines going on with this guy. You can see them. We did a lot of sanding and filling, but it wasn't until we hit it with the black primer that the lines really popped out. Now, we could have stopped, went back with additional sanding and filling to reach perfection, and I did contemplate this. However, a quote from my friend Derek fits this situation perfectly. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And I love that. And I think that's an absolutely valuable lesson when it comes to making things. Sometimes things are going to go wrong or not turn out exactly as you want them. Sometimes you're going to miss, and sometimes good and done are better than perfect and never finished. So yeah, keep that in mind as you go, and give yourself a little room for good. We just want to take 1 second to thank our amazing group of Smugglers Guild members over on Patreon. You never realize it, but you're making all the difference in the world to us and helping us keep all of this going. And over the last couple of months, especially as we struggled a little bit, had some lulls, and are now getting back into the shop. So thank you to each and every one of you for your constant support. We couldn't thank you enough. So one thing critical with this Roomba cover was to be able to keep the weight down and make it easy to remove, yet stable when it was on and running. So to do this, I cut some thick EVA foam and shaped it to match the inside curve of the dome. Then we could get these glued in place and then epoxy rare earth magnets into the foam. The idea was to glue the rare earth magnets down, then put the opposite magnet on, apply the epoxy to the bottom of that magnet, then set the whole dome down in place. This would ensure that I had the magnet's polarity correct and the magnets in the right position on the Roomba. This was a good plan with the exception that the curve of the dome and the way I cut the foam inserts prevented those little inserts and the magnets to sit flat on the surface of the Roomba, which also has a slight curve. So it didn't fit. It didn't touch down and allow the glue to set and hold the magnets in place. So at the end of the day, I had to switch to plan B, and I marked the corners of the magnets with a bit of paint so that I could find the locations on the Roomba and then glue the magnet down. Wow, that's a lot of words to describe making something that should have been easy a lot more complicated than it needed to be. But in the end, this backwards mess worked out fine. And it works.
Gravellies. So I wanted this foam trim to be a finish that was a color that would reflect the little light rope that we're going to add. So I thought a silver paint would be cool. That turned out to be a total flop, as it visually divided the Roomba from the dome, and we didn't really want that or like that. So we went ahead and painted it black.
Now, the secret droid that this was based off of has similar features to the large probe droid we see in Empire Strikes Back. But to make everything fit on the Roomba, we had to cut most of that in half. And then we used the laser cutter to make a few pieces and covers. This allows for the front bumper on the Roomba to still work, and that's critical. Otherwise, this thing would be useless. Later, we'll add some stickers to make them pop out a bit. All the red acrylic you see was just cut on the laser cutter and fit into the design of the secret droid. We're going to add some simple lighting to this and all, but the bright red acrylic really looks cool and sells lighting even when the LEDs are off. All sorts of random bits I keep. If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know we take everything apart and we save all of that stuff. That helps when you need strange antennas for your Roomba. Okay, this stuff is really cool. It's called EL wire. I was shown this particular stuff from our awesome buddy James with the Rebel Base build, and he used it on his Oculus case, which is awesome by the way, link in the description. My only complaint, if I have one, is that I wanted it brighter, but it was super easy to install and it has a battery pack. The rest of the LED lighting is easy as it can be. I crimped 4 red pre-wired LEDs, meaning you don't need resistors for these LEDs and they're rated up to 12 volts. I wired them together and then straight to a 9-volt battery pack. No soldering, no programming, and you're done. finish this off, we just needed some decals. Krissa had a few picked out that she cut on the Cricut, and we also used our friend Ado Morin's awesome Droid Depot graphic as well. Thanks, Ado. And there you have it, my friends, a droid that actually does something. Yes, you do things. You do all kinds of things. And either way, we've got a droid that does some vacuuming and cleans up around the smuggler's room, which leaves plenty of time for me to drink Fat Bantha beer and watch the Mandalorian series for the 27th time or so. That's what I call building something out of nothing. Listen, man, it just means it's nothing to feel bad about, man. It just means that sweeping and cleaning and vacuuming, that just isn't your thing. You're smarter than that. You're better than that. Yeah, I know, you have arms, but they're little, and you can't even hold the broom right.